I made the prediction that the Autokey card case would roll into next week. Guess what? I was wrong. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What's up, Wolverines, and welcome back to John Crump News, where we discuss everything 2A related. I'm your host, John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist that keeps an eye on the 2A space. And you really want to subscribe, because once we get a verdict, I will be going live with the results, probably sooner than anyone else. Maybe Fubbusters will beat me, but I will be live shortly after I get the verdict, and I will let you guys know. So, you guys can probably guess what I'm talking about. The Autokey card case entered its final day of witnesses. But before we get into the witnesses, let's talk about the order that the prosecution tried to sneak in at the 9th hour. The judge was not too impressed with their tactics. In fact, she seemed a little bit peeved that they submitted the order at 7 p.m. the night before the final day of witnesses, and she had to review it before today's proceedings, which actually slowed things down a lot. So let's get into what she said. Most of what they wanted, they're not going to get, they being the state, which is a good thing, because I was really worried about that. So the judge at least was fair with that. The final witnesses were from the ATF, and we found out a few different things. One, there was 12 agents going around collecting auto key cards, and then their boss pulled the plug on it because it was a waste of resources, because the damn thing didn't work anyway. So, if this was so dangerous and are machine guns, why would the ATF just stop collecting them? Because they figured that they weren't a threat to the public? I thought machine guns were highly threatening to the public. I don't know. So that kind of hurt their case. Also, the ATF's video of them using the Lightning Link that they made from the auto key card, and I use Lightning Link in a very loose way. I'll tell you in a second why. They only submitted a 10-second video. No video before or after, no video of them installing it or anything like that. It was just like, okay, there, we used it. What I think happened, and what it looks like happened, is they jammed the Lightning Link in there and screwed with the sear. If you go back and read one of my latest articles on AmmoLand, it was about a sliver of metal that got fouled up in a fire control group that caused an AR-15 to run away. And it looks like that's what they did with the auto key cards. So it looks like they couldn't even get it to work as they say is intended, which is probably why they wanted that stupid order to the jury. After all the testimony was done, there was a motion to dismiss by the defense. The judge didn't outright reject that. The prosecution wanted the judge to reject that, but the judge said that she would take it into consideration and get back to everyone after the jury decision. One of the reasons why that is important is that the judge is the 13th juror. Let's say the jury finds CRS Firearms, Matt Hoover, and Justin Irvin innocent of all charges, or not guilty of all charges. That ends the case right there. The judge can't do anything. They're not guilty. That's it. They walk away. She can look at that order and say it's moot now because I can't do anything anyway. So there you go. But if the jury finds Matt Hoover and Justin Irvin guilty, she can look at it and say, you know what, I don't really think that they're guilty. I'm going to overrule the jury and dismiss the case. A good example is during the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, the judge didn't outright reject the defense's motion to dismiss. After the prosecution got done with the witnesses, he tabled it until after the case. If the jury found Kyle guilty, I think that he probably would have stepped in and overruled the jury. And I think that might be what's happening here. Either way, it is a good sign. It is not a definite sign by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a good sign. anything can happen, and we're just going to have to wait and see. The prosecution will do a 45-minute closing argument, and then the defense will do the same thing. The prosecution wanted 1 hour and 30 minutes. The judge said, hell no, you have 45 minutes, and that will be it. Everyone will break for lunch. After lunch, the jury will come back, and they will start deliberating on Matt and Justin's fate. And I will be pacing. If it's before 1 o'clock, I'll be on a field trip with my son, but I will still have my phone on me, and I still will be pacing. Once we get a verdict, I will break into YouTube, I guess. I don't know. I was about to say break into our local coverage, but I don't have local coverage. But I will put up a live stream where Flying Rich, probably Dark, and a few other people will be talking about that. I'll try to get CRS on the phone. I'll try to get Justin on the phone. I'll try to get Fudbusters on the phone. Matt Larassier, who is CRS's attorney. Maybe Zach, his partner, on the phone. I'll try to get someone on the phone to talk about the case. My article will go up there for shortly after on MLN.com, and hopefully it will be a joyous occasion. If not, it will be a somber one. But either way, we should get an answer tomorrow or the next day. Deliberations can run into Friday, and they can run into Monday. It depends on how far the judge will let them go. The jury can say to the judge, hey, we don't think we can come to a decision, and then the jury can be determined to be hung. Or the judge can say, get back in there and give me a decision. It all depends on the judge and how she wants to push the jury. But we should know something very, very soon. A hung jury means that they don't have enough to convict. In order to convict someone, it has to be unanimous. If one person holds out, then it's not unanimous, and you cannot come to a decision, which is a good thing because that's a pretty steep bar to pass, even though the government does have a 99% conviction rate. So that is kind of scary. But I'm really, really hoping that they win, and I am hopeful, but I am still nervous as hell. Now, let's say that there is a hung jury. The trial will be considered a mistrial. Then the federal government can decide whether to try the case again or not. I'm not sure what they would do in this situation, but we'll see. Hopefully our boys are free tomorrow and they get to walk out with their freedom, and they can put this whole entire nasty situation behind them, even though it did destroy their lives. But at least it is behind them and they can start to rebuild. All right, guys, once I hear something, I will break in immediately. Also, if you want to support Matt, I am going to link to his Shopify account down below where you can buy patches and other cool stuff from him, and that would really help him get home. Because after he wins, which I hope he does, he's going to have to travel all the way back to Wisconsin, and he's had to pay for hotels for the past couple weeks. All right, guys, that is it. I hope you have a great day. Go, Matt. Go, Matt Larassier. Get our boy off. And yeah. All right, guys. Stay ever vigilant. Stay ever free. Keep in the fight. I am out of here. Wolverine's mother.